Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio, episode 57. I'm April Perry, and here at Learn, Do, Become, we help people who are drowning in the details of life to develop simple systems so they can do what matters most. Now, today's podcast is a little bit different than things we have posted in the past. It's actually an interview that I did with Jessica Jackson at the Thriving in Motherhood podcast. And typically when I'm talking about motherhood, I do it over at powerofmoms.com, which is my other website, basically run by a whole team of amazing mothers where anyone can write and publish and strengthen and create moms. But one of the things I've really been thinking about more here at Learn, Do, Become is how to use my voice in a way that's more authentic, where I actually get to talk about all the things that matter, which really a lot of that focuses on family. So today I'm going to talk about relationships in the home, housework, routines, how we take care of ourselves as people, how we interact on social media, how we see our value, and how we make time to really care about ourselves while putting our family members as our top priority. Now, when I recorded this podcast with Jessica, I'd actually had a really hard morning, and Jessica was so kind to let me share what was going on. If you listened to episode 55 of Learn, Do, Become Radio, you know a little bit about what was going on behind the scenes, and this was recorded around the same time. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for being with us here at Learn, Do, Become.
So April, just starting out, what does motherhood look like for you right now?
Well, I feel like I'm an old mom now. I'm 40 years old, and our teenagers, we have 3 teenagers, 19, 16, and 15, and it's beautiful. We also have an 11-year-old. And so I'm kind of at that stage right now where I don't have diapers and I don't really have any toys around my house. I mean, I do have toys for when guests come over, but we're at a different part now where it's helping our children get ready to launch, and it's taking time to really stop and pause and take care of myself. And in full disclosure, I've been having a total cry session all morning with my husband because I'm I've been realizing that for the past 15 years, I've never actually told you what I was thinking. I've been so overwhelmed with everything and just trying to make it all work. And so he's been super nice. He's been holding me all morning. He's like, "Are you sure you can go do the podcast?" I'm like, "Yes, I'll just go and it'll be fine." But it's I'm kind of at that point in my life, and I'm kind of very honest online. So I think the moms who are listening may want to learn from my experience because when you're trying to raise little ones and it's so busy and you're so tired and it's all you can think about is let me just sleep and get everyone fed and then go back to sleep or whatever, it's really hard to recognize that there might be things that are going on that are difficult. But when you can learn how to process it and learn how to care for yourself and learn how to keep a strong perspective early, the earlier the better. And my husband's like, "I wish you would have talked to me about these things 15 years ago." I just thought, I don't know. I just thought a good mom just kind of puts her head down and does the work. Anyway, that's kind of where I am right now. Life is really good in a whole lot of ways, but there's a lot I'm still learning.
Ooh, okay. Well, and
that's way too much information to start our
No, it's perfectly honest, and I relate to that a lot. Although I'm at the end with the 3 little kids running around in the diapers and they're not sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe since you went there first, maybe we could talk a little bit more about that. What is the secret?
What is the secret to?
What's the secret to doing what you just described?
Okay. Well, let me just tell you why I did it. So, and we'll talk more about motherhood and how awesome motherhood is really. But the thing is, when you're a mother, you want to protect and care for your children. And I think it's more than anything else, right? You're willing to put your own health and sanity and safety on hold sometimes because there's someone else whose life literally depends on you. And that's a pressure that a lot of people don't really talk about, They just say, "Oh, isn't it fun to be a mom and have a cute diaper bag and a really cool stroller?" And what we're seeing online right now, especially, it kind of frightens me because I see so many young moms who are trying to get their value by what everyone likes about them and the comments that they get on social media or how many followers they have. And I think we're losing our health and sanity in the process. And so what happened for me was Hey, Jessica, I'm going to be really honest with you about like pretty much everything going on right now.
Perfect. Let's do it. feel?
Okay, so I had this weird rash on my arm the other day. I'm like, why do I have this rash? Kind of like a stress rash. I get them every once in a while. I haven't had one for like a year. I'm like, I totally have a stress rash. Okay, well, Eric and I have this thing where once a month or once a quarter, depending, I do a hotel night. And I go away for 24 hours. I found like a $40 hotel down the street. As I'm checking in, they're like, you live in this city and you're checking into this hotel. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Not just for the free oatmeal you're going to give me tomorrow morning. But I went into this hotel and I sat down and I thought, okay, something's going on. Like I've got some hidden emotions. Something's happening where I'm getting these stress rashes. I don't know why. And I need to start figuring it out. And so a friend of mine had said, okay, he does like therapy and stuff like that. And he's like, okay, you have to pick one moment when you felt all that stress and anxiety. Pick that one moment and then write down everything you were thinking at that moment. So I did. I was like, okay, I remember this moment. I felt super stressed and I started writing and I wrote like 8 pages and just like sat in that hotel room and just realized I had all these things that I have just been like pushing aside and not dealing with and not thinking, and thinking that the more I sacrificed myself and the more that I would just be the quiet, smiling mom, the better I was, you know, the stronger the person I was. When sometimes it's like actually sitting down and saying, I really don't like this or this or this, and I want to make some changes. So that's what I did. And, you know, a lot of it's like stuff I'm still figuring out. I told my husband, I'll show you all my 8 pages if you want to go read through them all, and we can talk through it. But the basic thing, though, is that recognizing that you are still a person behind the term mother, that you didn't go away just because you became a mom. So that's why I'm so passionate about the work we do, helping people build command centrals, helping people get order and get out of piles. Because if you can totally start clearing the clutter, not just from your house, but from your head. And now what I'm learning, which is super painful, is clearing clutter from my heart. Oh, it's like painful. But then that's when you can actually enjoy your children and enjoy your life and feel closer to God and start living your purpose. And you're not going to get caught up in all the other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So easy to say, so hard to do.
It is, but I think when you get some good routines in place to have quiet and time to think and time to introspect, and then I think it's just giving yourself permission to say, just because I want to be a person as well doesn't mean I love my children any less, you know, or that I love my spouse any less. But it's actually having a beautiful experience. And I'm not trying to totally derail our podcast. We can totally move on to the other questions if you want.
Great. This is great. This is, you know, I love it because what I have been really researching right now and, you know, looking for people that are doing this, but what does it really take to thrive? What does it really take to grow? What is the dirt that we need to be growing ourselves in? What's the soil that we need? And so that we can grow to our best, right? Because you can plop a seed in the ground and it'll grow, but it'll also die if you don't. Even if you're watering it, like sometimes the soil's just wrong. I had that experience with my lemon tree. The soil was wrong. Yeah. So the tree just started to die from the top down until I changed the soil.
So smart.
Well, but I feel like that's what's happening in motherhood. You know, the first 5 years, plop the seed, it's growing. There's so much growth happening. You know, everything's growth in the first 5 years of your, you know, motherhood. But now it's like, okay, I can see how I might be starting to die from the top down. I need to change my soil. What kind of soil do I need?
Well, and one of the questions I was talking to my sister about the other day, because we've been working on a lot of different projects at Learn, Do, Become, and I was like, that question that always hits me is, how long is it okay to die inside? Like, how long? How long is that okay? Because sometimes it's okay to put, you know, a day or a week or a month where you're in survival mode and you're okay. You're just kind of on hold. But what happens is most people are dying inside, like, over and over and over again. And I think by the end of our lives, I would like my body to be ready to die, but I want my spirit to have grown and be ready, you know, ready to progress and move on.
Yeah, which is often what's the hardest part for us during this phase right now, right? Is letting our spirit do that. Yeah.
Can I speak a little bit to the soil?
Yes, please.
Okay, because I think one of the things that's been most helpful is to think about the feeling in the home, the sweetness, the closeness, the relationships. that to me, that's the soil, is how the home feels. It doesn't matter what color the paint is. It doesn't matter if you have cute pillows on your couch, or even if there's toys, or if there's peanut butter smears on the glass or whatever. Like, none of that matters, but it does matter how it feels, because you could have a beautiful, perfect home ready for social media, and you could have relationships that are awful, and you could have children who hate you and who yell at you, or you could have the same beautiful home and have great relationships. I mean, really, the feeling in the home has very little to do with how it looks and more with what you're putting into it. And so I was actually just sitting in our bed. We have this golden doodle, and my 16-year-old daughter loves this dog so much. And we were snuggling on my bed, and we let the dog up on the bed, and we're sitting there just holding our dog. And we've done this the last 2 nights, and both nights she said, "Mom, I don't think life gets any better than this." And like the feeling there in the home, like, and it was last night, it was so funny. It was a long day. We'd been out at my sister's, and it was a long, long day. It was super late, and everyone's like late to bed. And I thought everyone was up in bed, and I go in my room. She's in my room in the dark, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Mom. I just wanted to see if I could just like hold you just for a couple minutes before I went to bed." And I'm like, you know what? Like, that to me, that's what I'm trying to build, is a family that wants to be with me, a family, and with my husband, like having the feeling that's there where they know how much they're loved and that they want to just share that. And, you know, it was really humbling to me, because 2 nights ago, the first time she snuggled with me before bed, I mean, we do this most nights, but it was just a couple nights ago she'd said that. And I was feeling really down about myself. I'm like, oh, I haven't done a good job on this goal, and I'm working on this. And I was really like down on myself and wishing that I were more successful in a couple different areas of my life. And then when she said, "Mom, I don't think life gets better than this," I thought, you know what? Here my daughter is savoring this time we have together. And I am thinking about how inadequate I am. Like, why am I waiting for this future day that's going to be perfect when I have this day right here that is perfect? Like, there's no, so it's just, it's learning how to stop worrying so much about everything else and then focus on what we're really here to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And create that headspace within ourselves so we can be and enjoy and be present with what our kids already see in us, right?
Yeah. Oh, they're so good at it.
Yeah,
listen to them.
I know. Yeah. Okay. So what are some of the things that you've done to create those feelings and those relationships?
Okay. So one of them is working together. This is huge. I wish I could do more. In fact, I took a class at college called Work and Relationships in the Home. One of my all-time favorite classes. I didn't know how much I was going to use it, but every single day of motherhood I have. And basically what was taught in the class was that relationships are not built in the formal ways that we often think. Like, you think, oh, it's when you're playing a board game with your kids, or when you're out at Disneyland, or when you're, you know, jumping on the trampoline. And those are great, and you can build relationships then. But she said the most important relationship work is done while you're actually doing housework side by side, because it's repetitive, it's something that doesn't require your mind, and it enables you to actually talk at a deeper level and share stories and build a connection. So I applied that the minute I became a mom. Even while my babies were little, I'd have them sit on my lap while I would fold laundry and like play with them while I did the laundry. When our daughter could learn to walk, it was her job to go gather the trash cans from like around the house and bring them to me. And I would have them sweep with me. I had this rule where I never did housework when the kids were asleep. I only did housework side by side with them. That way, when they did go to sleep, I could actually sit down and do something I enjoyed, and we built relationships. Like, I considered that was the work. That was parenting. Because what I hear so often is, well, let me hurry and do the housework so I can go be a mom. Or let me just leave the housework and let the house be a mess so I can be a mom. And I completely disagree. I mean, occasionally, but I think the most important thing I did was work side by side with them. Because if I could tell you the thousands and thousands of heartfelt discussions I've had with my kids while we were like chopping vegetables and cleaning the kitchen and doing laundry. And I mean, that's when it happens. So that's like number one.
Whoa, I would say that is completely counterintuitive to what we're being blasted with right now in this generation. Like,
Yeah.
completely counterintuitive and so true.
But try
Can I say
it.
that?
Yes. And I mean, you try it.
Actually,
Are you doing it?
Here's the thing. I have the same rule. I have
Awesome.
never done work while my kids are sleeping. I say, heck no. But I love the lens that you put on that, where that's the work, right? So I think I have felt the pressure of, no, yes, I'm going to do housework while the kids are sleeping, but we're going to try and hurry so we can get outside and do other things too. We're going to try and hurry.
The better
so
stuff. The fun stuff.
Yeah. And instead of just recognizing, no, like that's what motherhood is. It's running a household with your children together, building relationships together.
Yeah. And, I've gotten some criticism from that because I wrote a post about it one time and I got a comment that said, who are you to make it sound like every house is Mary Poppins and like it's so fun and your kids are going to love housework? I hate housework. I hate cleaning. And she was really upset about it. I'm like, okay, maybe you don't want to do housework in your kids. That's okay. You don't have to, But the thing is, I never looked at it like a chore. And that was something my mom taught me. She would be singing while she was doing the dishes. She would turn on music and she would sing and she would dance. And when she would bring me the laundry, she'd say, oh, this towel just got out of the dryer. It's so warm. Come here. I'm going to wrap you in this warm towel. And she would bring me laundry and have it folded. And she would hand it to me like a gift. Look what I did for you. I folded your cheerleading outfit. And look. And she treated housework as a privilege. And so I really wanted to do that with my kids too, because if you think about it, if you only look at housework as a punishment, like, hey, if you're mean, you have to do an extra chore, or if you're grumpy, I'm going to give you more work, then like being a mom is like the worst punishment in the world because you have so much housework to do. But if you look at housework as beautiful and special and giving and the background for building relationships, I mean, that's awesome. But it's also, I realized I had a lot of stress when I was younger as a mom because I was so worried if anyone came to the door and saw my house not perfect, that would reflect on me. I remember the night I discovered that. But there was one day where we had this white floor. We quickly changed out the white tile because who puts a white tile in a kitchen? But there was a white tile in the kitchen. And our little girl, Grace, was like 4. And she came running in from the backyard with muddy feet. And I just Swiffered the floor and it was all nice and shiny and she didn't know. And so her muddy feet created these 2 black streaks across the white floor. And she fell and she was crying. And then I remember, I'm like ashamed to admit this, but I looked at the white floor that I had just mopped and felt so accomplished. I got a towel and I wiped the muddy streaks first. And then I went and gave her a hug. And as I was doing that, like something inside me just said, April, what are you doing? And I realized it as I went to hug her. I'm like, I just put a really dumb white floor above my 4-year-old daughter who fell and was crying. Like, and I'm not going to beat myself up over it, obviously, because I'm sure other moms get it. Like, you're trying so hard to have something finished and then they undo it.
That's just like life. I totally get it.
But that was a moment I realized I'm never doing that again. I'm never going to put something clean, a floor or a kitchen or whatever, above how my kids feel. And that, I think, that's been a game changer for us. And, we had the privilege of visiting my mom just about every week. She passed away from Alzheimer's. And we went to visit her about every week. She lived about an hour away. About 7 years, I took my kids. So I'd get them in the car on Thursday nights, and we would drive an hour, and we'd bring dinner for her and my dad. And we slowly said goodbye to my mom for years and years and years and got to take care of them. But it was the sweetest process because I wrote this whole book, Thursdays with Zoe, all about my mom, read her the book, talked about what I learned from her, told my kids about how she was and what she taught me, and got to serve alongside my kids. They decorated her whole room. They had paintings and pictures and hearts and cards, and her walls were covered with love like from all the grandkids. And it was the most precious time. And I just think, there's so much movement in such a rapid direction or rapid pace to try to be valuable. Like, I feel like that's what's happening all around us. Like me, tell me I'm special, tell me I'm valuable. Let me do something that proves that I have some worth, especially when you're a mom and your kids can't tell you because they can't talk or they can't articulate it. But if you can just step back and see that building the relationship, that's what's valuable, because then guess what? When you're on your deathbed, your children are going to be around you wanting to just savor every moment they have with you. Like, that's what my mom had. And I just think if I can live like that, who cares? Who cares if I wore the size pants I wanted, or who cares if my hair was cute and all my different hairstyles? Like, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's how you're going to feel when you get to be with your children for those final moments. And I just try to think about that, like begin with that end in mind. Because if you can remember that, then the everyday stuff, it's like, it's okay. It's not that stressful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so that does bring the question, though. That does bring the question. So how do you love fully to the point of being able to take care of yourself? Like I love my kids so much. So like you say that and it's like, okay, well, good. I'll just sacrifice myself. You know,
Yeah.
I'm out of the picture again, right? So how do you keep the love and perspective to it's the point where I am going to sleep because I need to sleep, and I'm going to shower because I need to shower, and I'm going to exercise because I'm happier. Like, how do you fit you into that love equation?
Yeah, it's definitely not easy, but there's a book called Scream Free Parenting that's really good. And in that book, he talks about the 4 levels of love. Level 1 is I love me for me. And I think that's the problem, is a lot of mothers think if I take time for me, I'm being selfish. I'm just loving myself for myself. Like that's not sacrificing. That's not loving, whatever. Okay. Level 2 is I love you for me. That's a narcissistic love. That's like, I only love you because of what you're going to do for me. I put you in a pretty dress so my Instagram followers will think that I'm awesome. Or I take you to ballet so my friends will think I have an accomplished child, right? Like, I love you for me is not true love. That's narcissistic love. Okay, then there's I love you for you, which is sacrificial love. That's like, you are my everything. I will wear sweats while you get everything you want. I will eat crusts of bread while you get organic, whatever. Like, you don't want to put that pressure on your kids, because then it's like, I don't matter, but you are my everything. So then if that child ever fails, they just, destroyed your dreams, and like, it puts a lot of pressure on them. So then the highest level of love is I love me for you, which means I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to get enough sleep so I won't be grumpy. I'm going to eat healthy food so I can be around for a long time and I can see your children and enjoy being a grandmother. Or I'm going to I do my hotel nights. And, this last hotel night, I had guilt. I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning, racked with guilt, because our oldest daughter had just gotten her wisdom teeth out. And I get this text. I missed the text because I'd fallen asleep, saying, Mom, the medication's wearing off, or it's not working well. I'm in so much pain. And my husband was there and he was able to take care of her. But in my mind, I'm thinking, my daughter is at home in pain and I'm off pampering myself at a hotel, And anyway, when I got home the next day and talked to her, she's like, oh, I'm fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I was up in the middle of the night worrying about you because I thought I'd failed you as a mom, But I think when you can recognize just look back at your life, look back at the last 2 weeks. When did you snap? When did you have a complete meltdown and tantrum and go slam your door? It wasn't when you were fully rested and had time to read and took a shower and had a great relaxing day. No, it was when you were exhausted and you hadn't eaten and you didn't drink any water and you never got to exercise. So you're the martyr and everyone needs you. That's when you have the meltdowns. So if you can just say, hey, what a gift to help your children not see meltdowns. I don't know. I think that's way better. I would rather be a mother who takes care of herself and has the solid, the stamina and the ability to then bear the hard things that might come, than to be the mother who's a total martyr having meltdowns all the time. No one wants to live with that kind of mom. Sorry. I don't want to live with that kind of person. I don't want to be that kind of person.
Yeah. Okay, so for you, you've mentioned some really good things. Are there specific daily or weekly habits that you have then to help keep you recharged and going so you don't get burned out?
Yes. I'll start with bedtime because that's the biggest. I'm in bed like by 9:30 now. Is that ridiculous? They call me Grandma April. I'm like, guys, I'm going to bed now. But I'm literally like in bed, not with a phone, not searching Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Like I am in bed going to sleep at like 9:30, maybe 10 at the latest. And so that way I get a full like 8 hours sleep, maybe 8.5. I'm usually up in the middle of the night because I'm like old and I have to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And so I like have to kind of, plan for that. But getting sleep is primary. And then every morning I exercise. And I used to not do it until our youngest went to school because the older ones go to school at like 7 and then our youngest doesn't go to school till 8. So I was like, oh, this is like my precious time with him and I need to be present with him and be talking with him. And he loves to talk. So we'll just talk. But finally I realized I'm like, that's when I need to exercise because then I need to shower and I need to get into doing our work that day. So now I just exercise, for, a half hour or whatever and just in our house. And that's been great. And then I have time to study and like have time for scriptures, time for my journal, and then I take a nap every day. It's like an hour of my quiet time every afternoon. And then I read like at night in the evening. I'll get a book and lay in the family room and just have time to read. But just being able to like sleep, take a shower, eat, read. Like I have a little list called my stabilizing mechanism. I have a little picture of it at learndobecome.com. But it's like, here's if I'm ever having a fussy time, this is what I need to do. Like, have I showered? Have I eaten? Have I had water? It's like my checklist. So I'll just tell my family if I'm ever acting grumpy, just here's my checklist. And then they know. And I will say whenever I'm getting near my cycle, I just tell my whole family. Like I literally say to my 15-year-old son, I'm about to start my cycle in about 2 days. I have a lot of cramps right now and I might be a little more grumpy than normal. I'm just letting you know that. So if I seem a little snappy, it's not that I'm mad at you. It's just that I'm having my period. And he's like, okay. So all my kids totally know, okay, mom's crampy right now. And then they get it and they give me a little space. And I know a lot of moms don't even want to talk about it. They don't want to tell their kids or whatever. They think it's some secret. I think it's better. Just let your kids know. And then they'll be like, oh, mom's kind of hormonal today, and it's just having those open conversations. But I'd rather be super open with my children and my spouse and just say, this is what I'm feeling. Because I've learned, especially today after having my whole cry fest, after holding things in, the only reason I held things in is because I believed it was better for everyone if I suffered in silence. Like, I hate even saying that, but that's what I thought. And that's so not healthy. So anyway, if anyone can learn that from me, don't do it. Don't suffer in silence. Like, talk about it, get help. There's so much good out there.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like we need to be powerful and we need to be able to be our best selves.
Yeah.
To do our greatest work, whatever that is for each person,
Yeah, but I think sometimes I thought powerful meant stoic and brave and physically, like appearance-wise, looking like I had it all together. And what I'm learning is there's a lot of power in being able to be human, and to have feelings and to learn how to express them in really positive, healthy ways. Like, I think that's much more powerful than what I thought. And so, I think learning just from what I've learned over the past, 20 years of motherhood is the more you can help your children to be able to understand what they're feeling and how to articulate that, and then how to make a plan on how we can actually move forward and what can we do given these circumstances? What could we do? There's no need to feel depressed and feel helpless. There's always something you can do to move forward in some way. But learning how to articulate that is really hard for kids. And so the more you can teach them how to be able to say, hey, it's okay that you're having a rough time. That's all right. Let's talk about it. And that talking, and that's where the housework comes in. Like that talking, one of my favorite little stories is, and I don't usually share this one out in public, but we're chopping vegetables, we're in the kitchen, and one of our children came up to me and had a very interesting sexual question to ask. And they asked me this question that I thought was way beyond what they should even know or would have known. I think the child was 9. It was it was and I was like, wow, oh, that's a very interesting question. What made you think of that? You know, like, as I'm not looking the child in the eyes, we're just chopping vegetables. Hey, what made you think of that? Well, there was a kid at school today who said that they walked in on their parents doing this, and I'm wondering, and they had all these questions, and we were able to have this full conversation and talk. I mean, it was like a subject I never would have thought to bring up with my child, but that child wanted to bring up. And so we did. And we've talked about everything from friends that are growing marijuana in their backyard to the friends that are going through depression to friends who are, you know, just there's a lot going on out there. And I think a lot of times, like what I hear through my kids, especially my teens, is that there's a lot happening with our kids. I mean, sexting is huge. We know a lot of this. There's, you know, oh, I can't talk to that guy anymore because he's always asking girls for nude photos. I'm like, oh, that's probably a good thing that you're not talking to him a lot. I mean, but it's stuff like this that's happening out there. There are kids who are feeling so much stress and anxiety. And then my daughter the other day, she's like, Mom, I asked my friends at school if they just like snuggle with their moms or hang out with their moms. And she goes, all of them that I talked to was like, oh no, I never hang out with my mom. I never even tell her anything I'm doing. I don't talk to her at all. She's so like, da da da. And they were really down on their moms. And none of them in this particular group felt like they even had a relationship with their mom that they could go to her and talk to her about something that was going on in their lives. And so I think if there's anything we can do starting from the beginning when they're little, let them talk, work with them, be their constant companion and be their friend and represent love to them. And that's going to happen when you take care of yourself. And that's going to happen when you provide opportunities for them to learn how to work and become independent. I mean, there's so much good that comes out of that. But there's like this, I feel like this generation more than ever. I mean, how awesome that we can do a podcast that thousands of mothers can listen to. And how awesome that we have an ability to raise the next generation. But we have to take this seriously because when you've got millions of moms literally spending more time looking at their phones and looking in the eyes of their children, that's a big problem. And it's reversible, but someone's got to reverse it. And it's going to start with the moms.
Yeah, I mean, that's our call to action, right? Put down your phone and start looking into the eyes of your children.
Yeah, and involve them in the work. Because if you feel like you just have to stare at your kids all day, you're going to be like, I don't have time for that. No one has time for that. But if you think, let me involve them in my life. Let me involve them in what needs to be done. Let's learn how to work together. I mean, then your work's going to go faster. You're actually going to have more time to replenish yourself. And that's what's going to make the change, I believe, in this next generation, is us raising them to be able to live well. And we've got to be the examples of that.
Yeah. And again, it's not what we're being told today. We need to broadcast this message loud and clear. It's good to work with our kids. It's not all about having fun all the time or about just playing with them all the time.
Yeah, totally. But there's so much joy in the process. And I think that's what we don't want to feel. It's like, oh, I'm just going to have to sit and work with my kids all the time. I want to have fun with them. No. You do have fun with them. It's just learning how to have fun in a little different way than what you often see. And you probably won't be posting a lot of those photos, right? Like, it's not like post-worthy material. But it's so good. And I heard this little 2-year-old the other day. Sorry, one more story. She was so cute. She was this little 2-year-old. She's like, I took a picture of her. And she said, maybe if the picture's good enough, we could put it on Facebook too. Okay? And I it kind of broke my heart because I get it. I totally get it. She's heard that a lot, you know. But I watch what's happening, and we often think, like, if it's good enough, if what I'm creating is good enough for everybody else to like, then that means I succeeded. And I think, you know what? Me being here right now with you, like, this is good. This is good enough. There's no one else we need to go out there and please. Like, we need to enjoy that feeling. And then I was walking with her a little later, and I was holding her hand, and she looked up at me, and she said, I love you. I love you, too. Aww. And, like, there was no picture, and I didn't go put it out there. I guess I said in the podcast. But I wasn't doing it because I wanted to have everyone tell me how awesome it was. Right. There was no part of that. But there's such beauty and such power in motherhood. And even though this little girl wasn't my daughter, just in having relationships, like it's the people that matter. And it's the people in your house, and it's the people who are there with you, snuggling in your bed or talking to you or eating with you. Like, don't forget about them, you know? And of course, anyone listening to this podcast, they're already extraordinary moms because that's what they're doing, right? Like, this is why they're here. So, you know, we're preaching to the choir. But I think even the choir struggles sometimes, and we get distracted and we think we're failures because we're not, you know, what everyone else says is perfect. But we're still successful, and this work is the most important work that we can do.
Absolutely. April, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me and with everyone listening today. I'm certain there were takeaways for each person that, you know, touched their heart and struck a chord with them. Where can people learn more from you? Because full disclosure to everyone listening, I go to April Perry, Learn to Become, and Power of Moms all the time.
You're so
all
cute.
all the time. So
I'm
maybe tell
so
us more
glad.
about what you're doing. And
yeah, okay.
I just caught up on your podcast.
Good.
I love your podcast, listening about Aspire. Anyways,
Thank
maybe tell
you.
everyone what you're working on and where they can learn more from you.
Yeah, well, so two main things right now. Number one, if you want to learn what I teach about productivity and how to get organized and get out of piles of stuff, that's like the main thing that we do right now. We've helped hundreds of thousands of people already, and you can come to learndobecome.com/step. My husband and I do live classes. You can come chat with us and engage with us and do that. If you want to come to Power of Moms, go to powerofmoms.com. There's a little taking care of the whole mom assessment. You can just click on and grab that.
Everyone has a different experience and everyone has different perspectives, and it's so neat to go to one place and see a whole lot of different experiences and a whole lot of different perspectives.
I love it because, you know, really it's like, yeah, I have 4 children and they're specific children, and I had one perspective in my life, but then you have mothers who have lived in different places or had children with special needs or been a single mom or gone through just some really challenging stuff. And so, I mean, we've all gone through hard things, but it's just, I feel like when we're willing to share it, I think it makes the pain less, because you think, well, maybe what I went through could help someone else. And there's just something innate in us as humans that when you can transform your pain into something helpful, it brings beauty not only to you, but to other people. And then they can connect with you. And it's like, let me reach back and make it easier for the next person. Because I had a really hard time as a mom when I first became a mother. I didn't like it. I didn't like being a mother. And so, but I knew I wanted to like it. So I had to figure it out. And now Power of Moms is there to help you so you don't have to figure it out. Like, you have support to do it from the start.
Absolutely, yeah. And then let's go back for just a second and talk about the piles. Now, maybe people listening to that thought, well, I don't know, like, why does that matter? Let me tell you what matters, because that's the reason why there's a podcast today. That's the reason why I have a planner to sell to you guys. There's the reason why I, can homeschool my kids. It's the reason why April Perry's Command Central is where it's at. So I'll put all this in the show notes, too, because
I love that. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. No, thank you. But really, that's worth checking out. So,
do you have a photo of it? Have you sent me a picture of your Command Central yet?
I have not.
Because if you could do that, we have this 25,000 Command Central challenge, and I'm actually going to start printing out photos of people's Command Centrals and putting them on my walls. And we're collecting, we want 25,000, and I think we can get it. We've already got thousands, so we just need to get pictures of them.
Pictures to process.
I know. Well, I won't put all 25,000 on my wall. I might need to put them on the ceiling. No, we'll have them, digitally, but my vision is that a Command Central in every desk, because, right, it gives you the ability to move forward on projects even when you're a busy mom, Well,
and here's the thing. Can I share with you one story? So here's my story. So when I'm pregnant, I'm very sick. My life totally stops. I throw up 5 times a day. My neighbors take care of me, my children and me.
So sorry.
They feed us grilled cheese sandwiches. I get really, really sick. So I built my Command Central right after my second child was born. And a couple years ago, and then, time went on, I got some projects going, things were really exciting. And then for 9 months, actually it was more like a year, because I had a newborn and my grandma died. I literally did nothing. But what was amazing is when I was ready to start functioning again as a human, I went right back, and because of my Command Central, my entire brain was still there, and I could just pick right up where I left off and keep going. That's when I knew that this thing was magical, because I could pause life and jump back into it again.
I love that so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. And it's so true. It's like, I know I had a concussion. I was in bed for 6 weeks, and as soon as I was out of it, I was like, all right, jump right back in. And that's huge. And most people can't say that. So congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, April, thank you so much. I am so excited to be able to share this time with you and with everyone that's listening today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jessica.
I hope that this podcast was helpful to you. And I hope that you are feeling more excited about your life and the things that you are choosing to do inside your family. Whether you have children, or whether you are serving aging parents, or whether you just want to be a better friend and be able to have great relationships with those around you. I know that it's our relationships that really make our lives awesome. You can come to the show notes page at learndobecome.com/episode 57. And Jessica is a member of our Steps to Everyday Productivity program. She has gone through the same process, learned how to create an awesome Command Central. So come to the show notes page to learn more about that, or you can sign up for our free class at learndobecome.com/step. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon at learndobecome.com.